Wanderers, welcome to the Wondering Dutchmen podcast, Season 2, Episode 51. Join us for a Wandering Wednesday, brought to you by our buddy Kyler Henry and K&J Insurance. The presenting sponsor of this episode of the Wandering Dutchman podcast is brought to you by our buddies Kyler Henry and John Voiles and the rest of the folks at K&J Insurance. Over at K&J Insurance, they do more than just sell insurance. They work to craft personalized plans of protection. K&J covers all personal insurance, including the major insurance needs such as home, auto, renters, motorcycle, off-road, and RV insurance. But they don't stop just there. They can also insure your business. You think K&J are done with personal and business insurance needs? Heck no, they aren't. Kyler and John can get you set up with any necessary Medicare plans and life insurance you may need. Talk about a one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. Their office is located right next door to us in Petersburg, and you can check out their website, kjinsurance.net, or give them a call today, 812-809-4452.
The Wondering Dutchman podcast.
Where none of us are Dutch, but we all live in Holland, Indiana. Join us where we talk about what we all wonder about. This is the Wandering Dutchman podcast, coming to you from Smoker's Lounge.
The Wandering Dutchman. Yeah, yeah. The Wandering Dutchman. Yeah, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Coming to you from Smoker's Lounge on a wonderful Wednesday morning, Season 2, Episode 51, brought to you by K&J Insurance and our buddy Kyler Henry. Give Kyler a call today for all of your insurance needs. We're here in the old Smoker's Lounge, and sitting across from me in the turtle-shelled colored glasses with the manicured mustache, and looks like he got a recent haircut, probably from our friend over there at Maxie Barbershop. It's our buddy, Big Mace.
Hey, guys.
Sitting there in the middle, not rocking the rose-colored glasses, bandana, or the turquoise turtle, it's our buddy, Smoke Dragon.
Howdy.
And I am Esquire. Joining us in the lounge is no one, which has been unusual for us here recently. We seem to have a pretty good crowd lately, but it's just us tonight on a Friday afternoon. Big fella, before we get into our wonders on this Wednesday, what say you?
It's Friday. Hope everybody had a good 4th of July and celebrations and everything. Hope everybody still has all their fingers. I still have all of mine. I did not light the wick on one single firework this year, which is, it's okay, you know. But yeah, I had kind of a goofy work schedule. Kind of sucked, you know, off just one day there and then back one and then off two, you know, but whatever. Would have much rather have observed today and then had a 3-dayer. But, you know,
Yeah.
you can't have them. You can't have it all, you know. So other than that, that's all I got for now.
There you go. Smoke Dragon,
Quiet week.
you were off all week, right?
Mm-hmm. Should have just gone to work, probably.
Oh, you missed it that much?
Didn't have a lot going on.
Sometimes those are the best.
Well, because did Jenna work this week?
Mm-mm.
Kids were all home, though?
Mm-hmm.
So it was just kind of, you really didn't have any peace and quiet to yourself, did you?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't too bad.
Oh, okay. Okay. I got not too much here on this Wednesday. We lit up the neighborhood last night.
Yeah.
Me and the younger brother, we put on a show for the youngsters and my father and some of the rest of the crew there. So we had fun. It's kind of funny you say, you know, you didn't light one, but I think after having that responsibility on your shoulders of running a fireworks show.
It's kind of tough.
Yeah, it is a little bit. It is a little bit. And there's always that off chance something gets a little helter-skelter, and next thing you know, there's something blowing up in your face. So live dangerously sometimes.
Yeah, you don't want stuff blowing up in your face.
No,
For sure.
probably not. But, you know, the good news is the kids' laughter and glee makes it all worth it. That's right. And that's why we do the things we do in parenting, right?
That's right.
Hell yeah.
There we go. Let's get into it. Before we do, though, that ice cold opener brought to you by our buddies over at Celebration Ice.
That ice cold opener was brought to you by our friends at Celebration Ice. Celebration Ice is the official ice utilized by the Wondering Dutchmen podcast. You look in the freezer in Smoker's Lounge, and it's a bag of Celebration Ice. Not only can you get the 7-pound and 20-pound bag at your local gas station, but Celebration does so much more with ice for special events, solid ice blocks, and even dry ice. If your local gas station doesn't carry Celebration Ice, demand it today.
Big thank you to our friends over there at Celebration Ice. A little bit of ice with attitude, because if it's not Celebration, then F you, which we clean that up a little bit.
Yeah, we got to.
For marketing purposes.
Yeah.
We have to do that for Mark, but go over there, get your bag of ice, and we're going to jump into what will be a wild, wacky, wet, wise, willingly wandering Wednesday.
There you go.
7 of them.
Nice.
I'm going to look up my W's.
I am actually running the old Google Drive tonight, taking over for Dave, and I'm looking through here, and I'm looking at like some of the topics that we've had recently. You know what I mean? And we've talked about some pretty cool shit.
So you're going to recycle one of those?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and look at one of the lists here. No. What is your first reaction in the heat of major adversity? There you go. That's what I want to talk about, and I'll elaborate.
typed it out there.
I can type one. Mrs. Mickle, the late.
Yeah, she'd be proud.
The late Mrs. Mickle.
God rest her soul.
She taught me how. She was an awesome woman. You would have loved her. She was really nice.
Straight shooter.
Very straight shooter.
She cared.
Didn't give a shit if you liked her or not. If you by God, you were going to learn to type. And she was just one of those. You always look forward to going to Miss Mickle's class.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mrs. Mickle, and Mr. Mickle, Byron.
Oh, Byron.
Science teacher. He was a one of a kind.
Yeah, he was unique.
Good fella. But yeah, what is your first reaction in the heat of major adversity? So when I say that because I came home from work today and immediately took my work clothes off because I was literally soaking wet. Because like after lunch today, we went back out,
Played in the old splash pad.
did some stuff, and the humidity was just intense. But like now, it's pushed out. Like now, it's really not that bad outside.
How do you think that happened?
I don't know. The dew point lowers. I guess I don't know if it's something to do with pressure systems or what, but obviously the dew point just bottoms back down. You know what I mean? Which pushes the humidity with it, which is fine. I mean, I really, after sitting in the jungles of Vietnam, Lake Helmrich last night and watching that, it kind of felt like Vietnamish. You know what I mean? That smoke and all those orange lights.
Yeah.
Kind of like napalmy looking stuff. Like I don't think there's any Agent Orange or any of that stuff, thankfully. But
Yeah, because I think that's probably
we'd
caused
all
a lot
have
of cancer.
Yeah, like immediate cancer there. But come home from work today, ditch the work clothes, wash up a little bit, and just kind of sit down for a minute, because that just, took my little break. And then the kids had gotten home shortly thereafter from a little shopping spree, getting ready for church camp. And Max comes running in the living room, and he's like, "Dad, the ceiling in your bedroom's got a hole in it, like a big rip." Excuse me, And I go in there to find a huge 4-foot by 4-foot section of ceiling that is now laying on the floor, atop of my gun cabinet, on the floor, and the rug, splattered water everywhere, due to the 10 inches of rain that we've received the last 24 hours, and I guess an apparent roof leak that I didn't know about. So now I had to spring into action. And when I say adversity, like that's I don't know if adversity is really the word for it, but like in the event of something like that happens, like what's your first move? Like what do you do? What's your first move?
Cuss.
Oh, yep.
Do you jump right into problem solving, or do you take a minute just to walk back and?
Well, I went straight to the refrigerator and got a beer because I knew
Justine would take care of it
Shit
when she
was-
gets home.
you. No, because I knew shit was going to get nutty if I didn't. You know what I mean? So I just went and grabbed a bev, sit down on the edge of the bed and really studied the situation. You know, really kind of looked and see what we got going on here. Drywall on the floor, fiberglass batting, you know, falling out of the ceiling there. Drywall everywhere.
Yeah.
Wet, white, milky drywall water everywhere on the floor.
So you think this has been building for a while, or do you think it's been the rash of heavy rains?
Well, I think it probably is a mixture of both. Yeah, that's what a fellow roofer friend of mine that I have already made contact with, he said, yeah, 10 inches of rain in 24 hours really waller shit out is what his exact words were. So I would imagine with that and the extreme humidity, I would assume, you know, since everything's good and soaked and saturated, you know, it doesn't have anywhere to go but down, you know. And once that decking, you know, if there's a hole in the tar paper, if there's anything in the shingle that's failing, it, you know, once it gets in that wood, I mean, and the humidity's high, what's it going to happen? It's going to be like a big what? Sponge, and then it's going to leak down. And that's, I feel like that's what happened. So I don't know. I mean, maybe it had a small leak, but then this monster.
Maybe with all the water, a stick got pushed through it and made a small hole.
Could have been.
That would be best case scenario.
Yeah.
Because then that's an insurance thing and not an out of your pocket thing.
Right.
Oh, did you even think about the insurance?
I called. Yeah. I called, and they said it's finicky. They said it's very finicky with water issues and roofs,
which is amazing, by the way.
Yeah,
because I feel like it's finicky because that's probably the most common reason people call for insurance is water damage.
Yeah.
So they don't want to pay for it.
Exactly. Makes sense. Makes total sense.
What a racket!
You know, it is.
Insurance is
the guy that I talked to about it was like, well, I said, what's this going to do to my rate? Like if I do file a homeowner's claim. And he's like, well,
it's going to go up.
Who knows, man? Insurance is pretty nutty right now. But hey, if you need insurance.
We got a guy.
Yeah, we
got several guys in our closet there. Not actively, but at one time. But yeah, what would you do? Like what would you have done in my situation? Well, you want me to tell you what I did and then you can kind of
Well, you did. You grabbed a beer and you waited for Justine to get home.
That's not true.
Which part?
I grabbed a beer, but I did not wait for my wife to get
Okay.
home.
All right.
So I immediately started to clear the gun cabinet out of the way. Got it out of the living room, which might have scratched the floor on the way out, but that's okay. At this point, what difference does it make? Like there's a gaping hole in my ceiling.
Because the one thing she'll bitch about is not the hole in the ceiling, but the scratch on the floor.
Right. So we got that out of the way, and then I started getting all the shit that was saturated like out of the roof, out of the ceiling, you know. So
Yeah, because you don't want any of that
'cause
wet insulation hanging around.
grabbed another piece of drywall, and then like another 5 gallons of water fell literally on my head. So I got it all gathered into the trash and got everything loose out, cleaned up the floor, vacuumed it, swept it, vacuumed it, and then I called Dave and I said, does anybody have any drop cloth or like plastic or anything like that? And I was like, I took a Rule King trash bag, the heavy duty black ones.
Yeah.
Cut it in half, and then like just
Spackled it up there.
stapled it onto the ceiling.
Well, wouldn't you want to leave that open and run like a dehumidifier for a little bit?
I think that I'd be worried about is out in your neck of the woods, it wouldn't be completely surprising to me to find out that you had bats in the attic.
Oh,
And you don't want those in the house.
yeah. So
Because that could lead, because you don't feel a bite from a bat, apparently. Like they got real
man.
sharp teeth. But if you think that you've had one, you got to get like the 6 months of rabies shots.
You think I got bats in my belfry?
I think bats in the attic are more common than.
Than what one thinks.
Yeah. Well, I have like chicken wire over my attic vents.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I don't
Hopefully
think
it held up better than the roof because it wasn't supposed to have any holes in
Or
it.
the drywall.
What if Big Fella wakes up with a raccoon
Oh,
right
God.
beside him?
I can't make that noise, but whatever they make, yeah. So like, I just
He thinks Max is out in the kitchen getting a sandwich.
turns
and
out
some
there's a
freaking
goddamn
raccoon.
trash panda floating through the Them little bastards are smart. There's a friend of mine that's got one, and that little son of a buck, it well, not little anymore, but it'll tell you the difference between a Ritz cracker and a club cracker. Then I guarantee it'll let that freaking saltine lay and go square after that Ritz every
Likes
time.
that buttery Ritz.
It's wild. But no, I got it all ripped out and stapled up, so I don't know. Hopefully got a guy coming soon. But yeah, what would you do?
I think the only thing I'd do different, since you're going to be doing drywall work anyway, I'd probably take home a sheet of plywood if I've got one and rip and cut on there because you'll have something living in the attic.
You think?
Oh, sure. Because they climb up like mine. I got mice in the damn attic. And you think, how in the hell they get in there? But I've watched them climb up the brick wall and like squeeze their little asses under the soffit.
This is one weird thing too that we have. Like, as I pulled that saturated batting out of the hole, there was chicken wire on top of the rafters to maybe keep the insulation down.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know if they drywalled it first and then they laid that batting down and put the chicken wire on top. I'm not really sure what the point of the chicken wire was. I've never seen that before. I don't know if that's something that they do or whatever, but yeah, there's no attic. There's no attic in that area. I mean, the decking, the roof decking was not maybe but 6 inches above the drywall right there.
Yeah, it was right there in the peak. Like
Yeah,
in the
it is.
corner.
It's right there in the crotch. Like it's where the one peak meets the flat area is where it's at. So there's something in that valley that's screwed up. So I'm going to get it tarped up. We'll probably tarp it up. And then we're going to go talk to the banker man. And then,
Put your plywood. It's going to get hot
yeah,
because it's going to pull all that hot air,
yeah,
especially running the air conditioner in your room.
yeah,
I'd put something thick and screw it to the ceiling.
yeah.
Yeah, because you got a pretty good project coming up there.
Yeah, so we're just going to get a track hoe probably and just rip that whole front of the house off. I told Justine that we'll just get we'll put a bathroom in the garage and we'll
Just might as well start the remodel now. Is that what you're saying?
We'll see what
You're going to go drop $8,000 on the roof anyway. Might as well get the new roof line.
Yeah, that's what I said. So we'll just have to see how it all shakes out. Might have to talk to the old money man, dig up a few jars.
Yeah. Old construction mace there.
But no, I don't know. It's just like one of those things. Like if a tree falls on your house, or if it's like like especially if it's the day after 4th of July at 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock on a Friday evening, and you got this gaping hole in your ceiling. Like what do you do?
Well, it's kind of like when our
you just gotta. That's what I'm. That's you just gotta spring.
do.
Yeah, you just gotta do. And I just want to see what you guys would do.
yeah, it's kind of like when our hot water heater went out Thanksgiving morning.
Yeah,
You just kind of. I mean, I guess the thing, like if it's a non-emergency situation,
yeah. Nobody's dying.
like the sumbitch ain't on fire,
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's probably a different reaction because you can pause, you can fight that.
you got
fight or
time.
flight
You got time
response.
to punt.
Yeah, you can just, all right, here's what we got to do. Like, let's get all the damage exposed, everything that's wet, get it yanked out, get it all cleaned up. Very similar. I probably wouldn't grab a beer because that wouldn't help
I just needed to chill. But yeah, I guess you're not like a, I don't know. Like I'm a beer drinker just to kind of.
I don't have an alcohol dependency. Is that
Yeah,
what you-
maybe that's what I'm
okay.
trying to get at. I mean,
Yeah.
without, really,
without
really
saying it that
prying,
direct,
really
yeah.
prying there.
No, I would. I mean, you just assess the situation. You probably mumble something under your breath because there's kids around.
It's not like they ain't never heard it before.
Well, ours we try to protect from that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
just kind of move on from there. Now, if it's an emergency situation, it's a triage thing. Like how can we make this work?
Start toe tagging.
Yeah,
and
it's a
move
little
on.
bit different, but yeah, I don't know. It was one of those things. It just you gotta just kind of stay cool, calm, and collected because the damage is already done. There's nothing else you can do.
Right.
So
That's what I was worried about. What you got, bud?
So I had this thought today or this week. I was standing there peeing beside a guy at work.
Oh, well, you weren't looking at his shoes, were you?
No, he was struggling.
Hey. Uh-oh.
Like he was struggling
What do you mean?
to pee.
Oh, he couldn't start?
Yeah, it's kind of a combination of everything. It was start, stop.
Stage fright?
No.
Oh, you mean like
he's an older gentleman.
Oh, gravity flow.
Not like super old.
That's what this guy that I used to work with said. He's like, "It's God blessed gravity flow, son of a bitch. I stand here for 20 minutes trying to take a pee. Wish I had some pressure." Like that? That's where you're getting at?
Maybe.
Yeah.
So what
get
it started me to think about was, what's the thing that worries you most about getting old? I.e., body parts or processes that begin to fail.
Not getting a hard on. ED. I think ED or like that would be number one, and then like I guess was it incontinence? Incontinent? Like
Incontinence means you pee yourself,
or
right?
shit, like pee or shit. Yeah, not being able to control your fluids. So ED would be one, and then like number two would be just rando poopy pants or pee-pee pants. I think that would be it for me. You?
Dementia or Alzheimer's, I'd
Yeah.
say. That'd be, I mean, I guess I wouldn't know that I didn't remember my family, but I'd hate for them to have to put up with that.
It's terrible.
Yeah, that
Like,
one
I
was
wouldn't
brutal.
know them necessarily, maybe.
Yeah, you would be. What the hell? What they call that? Oh shit! It's sundowners. Isn't it called sundowners? And that's like an early stage of dementia, like sundowners.
Oh,
whenever
because when the sun starts going down,
like
they get
in the evening time, they just get real nutty. But then, like in the morning or in the I think during the daytime, they kind of reconnect. But then, like as they as they slow down or get tired, is whenever that's. I see a lot of TikTok. I sometimes find myself on like dementia talk. Like I don't know if
Why?
I don't know. I don't know why.
Are you around people that talk about it a lot?
Absolutely not. But I'm just saying, like sometimes and it's this older woman that is, she's a sundowner and she lives with her son. Like it's progressed far enough to where she has to live with her son. And she just like, "I'll go get it, honey. Let me go get it." And like, "Go get what, Mom?" "Well, the mail or whatever." And it's like,
I've seen
7:30, 8 o'clock at night, or let me go get that package off. "I'll get it, honey. Come on, baby." Like just talking very as if he was a child, you know what I mean?
Oh,
And like they're, 40 some years old, letting his mom stay with them, and
but only has that issues
in the evening time. Like that said, she's starting to sundown or something like that.
Huh.
I just, yeah. And then you see those heart wrenchers where you go pick them up for the nursing home and you take them to get something to eat and they look right at you and say, "Now, who are you?" You know what I mean? And they're like, "I'm your son, Mom." You know what I mean? "You what?" You know what I mean? Like have no clue. I agree. That would be pretty rough too. On top of shitting yourself. You know what I mean? Like, not only do I got shit in my pants, but I have no clue who you are.
no clue who put it there.
Yeah, right.
I don't remember shit myself.
It's not a laughing matter, but you know what I mean? Like, God
Sometimes
damn
you
it.
got to bring light to things. No, I worry about that being able to pee, like the erectile dysfunction, like that all right there. But I think that just takes it to a whole nother layer when you start thinking about because that's the one thing, like Lou Gehrig's disease, like the key, or like some of those ones where those neurodegenerative diseases where you keep your brain, like your mind stays
locked
sharp, but then your body physically fails you. There's no way.
There's a guy that lives just right down the road, just down the highway here. That's balls deep in that fight right now, and he's sharp as a tack, but he's now in a electric wheelchair and sold all of his farm equipment and he's lost hundreds of pounds. He's just shriveled up, but he can still speak, you know what I mean? But he's just withering away, and I don't know, like that would be wild. So friend of the program, I won't say his name, but a friend of ours that I graduated with, his wife had a real gnarly brainstem stroke.
Oh yeah.
So you know who I'm talking about. And she could type with her eyes like that early on. Like she didn't have the Neuralink or none of that shit, but like some sort of where you just focus on it and she could type, tell you what's going on. She had like her own Facebook page for a little bit and stuff like that. I think that would be.
So your man Elon, like with that Neuralink, ever help with any of that Alzheimer's or anything like that? Or is it more of like being able to connect the physical or the motor neurons to do the physical actions, but not the gray matter that has your memories and
If there's
stuff,
no
right?
cognitive there, then
Yeah, I guess I don't know what causes Alzheimer's. I guess it depends on if it's still there somewhere and you just don't know how to get to it anymore, if it's just gone and, like nothing up there to it.
Because that's all it is energy circuits, right, in the brain.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just connecting those circuits to, you lose that gap or whatever. I mean, that's probably...
Yeah, the neurons become damaged and lose connections to each other. They eventually die. Scientists believe that for most people, Alzheimer's disease is caused by a combination of genetic, lifestyle, and environmental factors that affect the brain over time. I don't know, kind of vague, but yeah. What lifestyle choices lead to Alzheimer's? Not enough aerobic physical activity. Well, son of a bitch. Cigarette smoking, excess alcohol, shit, obesity, hypertension. Oh, I'm screwed. Who are you guys and where am I? Yeah, that's a tough spot, boys. I mean, you got to go from something, but man, I sure hope to hell I know my ass from a hole in the ground when I do go. You know what I mean?
That's what you always hear that when you talk to people and, God willing and the creek don't rise. Somebody's parents lived like 88, 90, 91, and you're like, oh, that's a great run, and like, well, but the last couple of years, and you're like, man, those last couple of years wipe away a lot of good.
So Sundowners is one, and then I think the other one is called Lewy body, like Lewy body dementia. Have you ever heard of that one? That's the one I think it's like it is nutty. Like my great grandpa. So no, it'd be my great uncle. On my grandpa Marvin's side, so my mom's side, he had a form of dementia where they like he was 90. I can't remember how he was damn near 100 when he died.
Yeah,
but he was in World War II. He's a tank commander, and he'd wake up in the morning sometimes, getting ready to. Truck into Berlin, boys. Like we were getting ready to batten down the hatches. We're getting ready to, he would like break into tank battles and stuff like that and talk like they were, whatever, and then like my grandpa himself, like my mom knew that he was starting to lose his shit. He would dip chocolate chip cookies in ketchup at the nursing home at dinner time. And Mom would be like, Dad, what the hell are you doing? Oh, I eat my cookie. It's good. You know what I mean? And shit. And then she would say something like, what you got going on today? Or you got any activities coming up? And Grandpa would be like, well, Jay's coming over. He's going to bring me some deer meat. He killed a deer the other day. And like my Jay, like your son-in-law. Yeah, I killed a deer. Or Jay or me, one of us killed a deer. And he's going to bring me some deer bologna over after a while. And and shit like that. And it'd be like, I think it was in the summertime or whatever, he had he had no idea what the hell he had for lunch yesterday, but he could tell you who he bought pigs from 35, 40 years ago. I just, you never know, but yeah, I don't know. Dementia would be a pretty wild one too. Yeah.
Well, and for it to be so vivid for somebody.
That's it. That's what I'm saying. Like it's so vivid. Yes.
That's what would be wild. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, hell. I don't know. Smoke Dragon? After those two topics about getting old and the other one having emergency crisis mode, can you save
Come on,
ship?
dig us out of this bitch.
So I had somebody call me the other day about work, yesterday, I guess, and was multitasking. So he was getting a prescription for his kid, and he kind of got off onto this side tangent rant. He goes in, he gives his insurance card, they ring it up, it's $1 bazillion. And they say, oh, if you want it, we got this prescription card, like the free one that's just like a coupon that they scan on the counter.
Yeah, what is that?
Good RX, maybe?
Good RX, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking prescription RX. But
so they just scan it, and it went down to like $22 from $1 gazillion.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, what is the point of that? Why don't they just make it the price? If there's no special thing you have to do, who's getting paid on that scan?
Yeah.
And why are we doing that? You reckon? Like I can't figure out where that money is going and how who's winning there.
Well, what I don't understand is if you don't pay for the GoodRx, right? Like they just say, hey, we can scan this for you to save you a little bit of money.
Yep.
Nice of them to do that. But who foots that bill to GoodRx?
You cannot use GoodRx and insurance at the same time.
Okay, so maybe that's what it was. He gave his insurance card, and it's $1 bazillion.
Yeah.
They tried GoodRx, and
Yeah.
it was without.
Yeah.
Insurance.
So insurance, you they'll give you this rate, right? So then they have True Scripts, GoodRx, all these other I will call them third party
Payors?
Yeah, or like third party maybe like a discount company or some shit that they've got worked with some other big pharma. That's now when you go GoodRx, are you getting name brand or generic medicine?
Yeah, I always get generic anyway. But so I don't know.
I wonder if it's for if you sign up for GoodRx, are you going to go for the
But you don't
original
sign up
Xanax,
for
or
it.
are you going to go for the aftermarket?
But it's not a sign up thing.
It's not.
No, it's just a card on the side, and they'll scan.
But I mean, you have to. But don't you have to pay for it? GoodRx?
No.
You just go up to the counter, and they'll scan that doohickey, and it'll be a discounted rate.
Oh yeah, so here it is right here. Yeah, you can get a free GoodRx prescription card by entering your information here, and it'll send it your way.
And CVS just has it sitting there on the counter, and they'll just scan it for you.
Yeah, so basically, if you have shit insurance, and your shit insurance doesn't cover that medicine very well, then I guess maybe CVS is just doing you a solid by saying, hey, man, let's screw that, and we'll just go ahead and do this. But there again, to go back to your question, if GoodRx can give this discount to make this $7 million drug not $7 million, then why is it $7 million in the beginning?
Now, see, I think I remember now that you're walking me through it this way, or make those statements. I think I remember seeing a snip of the Joe Rogan podcast, maybe, and this guy was like, look, I can get you the drug for 37 cents. When you go through insurance, they mark it up because they got to cover the cost of everybody doing stuff. So he's like, it may cost me $1 for that whole prescription, and I can give it to you for that. But when you tell me you're on insurance, I have to use your insurance.
Because it's the economy of scale thing. That's what insurance is, because you pool all those risk into one pile, and that's how they do it. Well, it's...
my insurance right now, which I don't know why it is, and I don't know if this is information that I'm supposed to say or not. So if I do get fired, then I'm sorry. But I haven't paid for medicine in a long time, like probably since the beginning of the year. And I don't know if it's something new that we got.
Did you hit your max out of pocket with your surgery?
Well, yeah, but not before that. My surgery was in March. So like all those meds that I had, even, that are directly correlated with my med or my surgery and everything else, I haven't paid shit for insurance for prescriptions. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like my doctor bills and everything, I'm still paying, the out of pocket stuff, still. So anyway, it's just like we were talking about with the water stuff and the insurance and everything like that. That's just really finicky shit that I don't think that, I'm not saying you're dumb, but I am dumb. And I don't think that that's something that I'll probably ever figure out, like how that all works.
Well, what it is, so Fortune has a pretty cool article that talks about it. So this guy, to your point, his pharmacy said, with your insurance, $500, and then he left, went to another pharmacy that would give it to him for $300 without using his insurance card, and he figured out, well, how can I go and save $200 by just walking down the street? And basically, what it is that him and his team put together enough price information for its data scientists to unravel the complex contracts between PBMs, which are pharmacy benefit managers, and pharmacies that set those rates. They found that plenty of research that prices varied widely, particularly on low-cost, frequently prescribed generic drugs. So understanding the working system, that's how they use GoodRx to crack it. So basically what they've done is, by making price comparison and price shopping something of a breakthrough in the industry, GoodRx is the broadly accepted, broadly used price transparency tool that exists in healthcare. To grasp the intricacies of the company's business model, you would understand the economic ecosystem in which pharmacies operate.
Wild. So this dude that was on Rogan, his name was Brigham Bueller, maybe?
Okay.
Former pharmacy rep, and he was talking about health insurance corruption in pharmacies. And like, I didn't obviously watch it, but I scrolled to the first comment. It says, pharmacist here. This guy is spot on. This is a profit-driven system, not a patient outcome-driven system. So I would imagine it's just like, so just talking about this and as recently for me, I did some checking on the Ozempies, the fat shot.
Mm-hmm.
And for me to go through my insurance to get on the Zempi train, to get on the fat shot bus, it's going to be like, it was expensive as hell, $700,000-$800,000 a month, through insurance for it, just because I'm not diabetic. You can go on the internet and buy it for $500 a month, and it's the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I just but that goes to show you the same thing. Like they don't. I mean, it's a racket. Now, does that answer your question to a T? Probably not. But I think we all cumulatively agree that
It just seems like if it's that easy, like, okay, the gig's up, like, why don't we just...
So GoodRx is able to monetize the discounts somewhat ironically through its partnership with the various PBMs. When a consumer seeks out a lower price medication at a particular pharmacy with a GoodRx coupon, the PBM with the contracted price processes the claim and rewards GoodRx with a sort of referral fee. These fees account for 90% of GoodRx revenues.
we'll have to get
It can be a sweet deal for PBMs that they're able to elbow their way in and pick up on revenue transactions they previously had no part of. So it's kind of one of those deals where insurance doesn't care as long as they get paid. Or these drug companies don't care as long as they get paid.
Right.
Going through insurance, they probably have a higher cost because they have to deal with all that paperwork. Mm-hmm. So they cut out the middleman of insurance and say, hey, because you're saving me, let's say it's for that prescription, you're saving me 5 hours of work for my employee. I'll go ahead. You can buy it at X amount.
It just makes you wonder if CVS buys those drugs in bulk at a heavily discounted rate from that supplier, that pharmaceutical supplier, and then they can sell it, as long as they're making anything, they'll sell it for whatever, whether it's, like you said, dealing with the bullshit through insurance or just scanning that GoodRx card and you make $20 and then on, next guy.
Well, and it's kind of like the idea of applying it to a different thought process, but almost the same. So you're Doc Flamian down there and you have insurance. And let's say you go down to see Doc for, name it, you got a sinus infection. Mm-hmm. It would almost be the same
Case
way
of the clap.
as Doc saying, well, we can run this through insurance and that's why those copays stay low at $15.
Right.
Because you could have doctors undercut the system.
Right.
They see you for a half hour, everything you need, all out, kit caboodle, and you not be out any big money, but you're doing it on a cash basis. Like there's a cash value to that amount.
Can you do that? Can you go to the doctor and pay for services rendered?
I would say no.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
You don't think so?
No. I don't think you
I
can.
don't think it'd be something that you'd broadcast if you're doing that. I'm not going to say you can't, but I bet it's not something that you would just...
Here's a question.
Yeah, but if you're uninsured, if you're uninsured, and you go see
now how can you? Once again,
you can voluntarily not participate in the Affordable Care Act.
Okay,
you can check that box or however that happens.
Let me ask you this though: would a family doctor, such as our friend down the road here, actually have a patient that was uninsured?
Oh, sure.
Oh,
You think so?
Oh, I bet his practice is made up of those that are insured. I bet probably 60% are insured, or you think that's too high?
I bet
I think it's too low.
I'd say it's probably low. I think there's just not people with cash enough to do it anymore. Because I think it's not... There's a risk to not do it. There'd have to be something... But so I don't have... what don't I have? I'm on Jenna's dental insurance, and it covers like my teeth getting cleaned.
Yeah.
But I've got this permanent retainer from like 8th grade still.
Major dental.
And
Wait,
a couple months ago, it
from
popped.
8th grade? Mm-hmm. Why have you had it that long?
It's just permanent retainer. It just stays there forever.
Your
I
mouth
guess
hasn't changed since you were in 8th grade?
I guess not.
It was like 35 years ago, wasn't it?
But the glue just a year ago popped loose on one
hell.
side. So I had this metal wire sticking out. And I told Jen, I was like,
Oh,
"Can you
I
just
remember
call-"
that.
Yeah. And he went in. He was like, "You gonna use insurance for this?" I was like, "No, I don't have it. We'll just figure it out." He was like, "Oh, okay." And he looked at whoever was there. He's like, "Do you think you can handle just if you just grind that down and glue it back on?" She's like, "Yeah." He's like, "How's $100 sound?" I was like,
Yep.
"Perfect."
Well, see, and
No
that's,
Because
shit.
I didn't have insurance, and okay, we're just not going to dick with it, and it was like just
Yeah.
but see, to that point, that's why, like, if you had a doctor's office, because medical insurance is more commonly had than what vision and dental are, your dentist and your optometrist have to have a little bit more insight and creativity into what they do.
Right.
Because, like, that $100 there, it didn't probably take but 15 minutes.
They probably went and bought a pizza and a 6-pack after.
Oh, sure. That was the
Yeah.
hardest part because they didn't want to throw that on the books either.
Yeah.
Because now there's some other.
So
people.
what about the teledocs? Same thing. You know, like
They're paid all by the insurance, though.
well, yeah, you're right. Yeah, because I say we use that a lot.
The
Or I do.
insurance companies are doing that just to control it, I would say, because they don't. They have to still come to terms with Memorial Hospital, who Doc Flamion works on. Anytime you go for a visit, so they offer teledoc. They can just say, "We're going to pay you X amount of dollars a year."
See, we use a
You're gonna
third
have
party.
this. Yeah, most of them do.
Yeah, like Swift. We use Swift MD.
But then that way, they don't have to mess. They're cutting out that whole paperwork approvals thing because now it's just.
Yeah.
And
sure.
Swift MD is wild because like you can use that for anybody, and you know they say in your household, but like
They don't check.
I may or may not have allegedly got some prescription. What was it? Nasal spray
Yeah. Because that was when I had COVID.
for a guy across the street that
what I had.
he stayed at my house maybe that night or something.
yeah. I've
So he
drank-
was currently in the household, you know. So
Yeah. Drank beer down there.
yeah. Anyway, good,
What about-
good topic?
Well, what about, I had this thought the other day because we're talking about it. Doctors that make house calls. Like you see it in the old television and the
Oh,
movies.
yeah.
Like Doc's got the old black bag and making the visit to the house.
I'd say for the wealthy, like I'd say probably some of the. Well, I mean, obviously, you know, you got all the big timers; they got their own personal docs. You know what I mean? So I'm sure
Yeah.
that's a deal. Now I don't know if
When do you-
I don't know a friend of the program down the road. I don't know if I know he goes to nursing homes but as far as like going to shut-ins and stuff like that, I don't know if you know what I mean. I don't know if he.
I
Does
was just wondering, could you imagine? So I told Janelle, we were talking about it, and a big thing is mobile veterinary offices.
Oh yeah, shit yeah, dude.
So they'll pull in, they get your dogs.
Yeah.
They'll do what they need to do. And it's not like major stuff. But could you imagine?
they have like
if-
a van. Don't they have like a van that's
Yeah,
got like a little
well,
work table in the
Yeah,
back?
it just depends on their operation. But could you imagine if you're a doc and you call up, one of the boys has got a sinus infection, and doc pulls up, kid comes in, checks everything out, here's your script, everything you go, they go on their way. Could you imagine that customer service? Like, it would be interesting, like, obviously, because in our area, we're not spread out, but like,
Right.
imagine being out in Wyoming
Right.
or somewhere like that where your local hospital is, you know,
Hours away.
yeah,
Yeah.
where you were just kind of a mobile doctor in a motorhome. Like, this is what you went to medical school for.
I'd say those skills would be highly sought after in a demographic like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like if you were out in the
Oh, especially if you're running a big operation like a big ranch out there.
right, you'd have to have like a doc on.
You don't want somebody getting the clap and giving it to everybody else.
Yeah, you want a doc on board, or
Yeah.
at least keep enough of that clap pill on hand to where we
It's
could
a
really
shot of penicillin in it.
knock that in the head. Yeah, it's easy. They don't put your dick between a board anymore. They just give you some pills and a move
I don't
on.
think that was real.
I know a guy that's had it multiple times, and it's just easy round of meds, and it just quits burning, and you know you're good shape.
I went to law school with a
That's
guy
wild.
that got gonorrhea twice.
Where'd you get that from? A toilet seat? Well, the best part is this fella here. He got it once and went into the doc and got his medicine, and he had a family doc at the time. And went back and got it again, and it's like, well, Mister Insert name here. See, you didn't learn your lesson the first time.
Yeah.
That's what they said. You know what I mean? Imagine that embarrassing
Yeah.
moment.
A buddy in law school, though, he had gonorrhea twice.
Ooh.
And he goes, I don't know how it come up in conversation. I don't know how that conversation, I don't
That's the
remember
old
how it happened.
tapioca pudding pee there. That's for
And
that.
he said,
roadie.
he goes, I woke up. He goes, I woke up the next morning to go piss. And he goes, it honestly felt like somebody had on the inside of my urethra cut 1,000
Ball of
cuts
glass.
with a little razor. And he goes, he's like it made me so sick to my stomach. And he goes, I went, got penicillin shot in the ass and the medication, and he was like, felt better. But then he goes, I got it the second time, and he goes, I was so pissed because I didn't learn from the first time. But he's an interesting cat. But yeah, he's gonorrhea twice.
That's wild.
Yeah, that is whew. That is a tough spot. Hey, Dave, that was a good topic. We kind of got off there a little bit.
That's fine.
But it's okay.
Part
It's
of it.
all okay. Before we move on, though, we got to take a little bit of a pause for the cause, brought to you by Courage for Courtney.
Hey, Wonders. You've heard Mace talking about it for a few weeks now, but we wanted to be sure you got it. Talking about Courage for Courtney. Our friend Courtney Drew has been diagnosed with cancer and needs our support. To help ease the financial burden of treatment and everything else, some awesome folks are hosting a fundraiser on July 13th from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Venue 1408 in Huntingburg. It'll be an awesome evening with live music, dinner, dancing, a silent auction, and a bake sale. It's going to be a fun night for everybody involved, but most importantly, it'll be helping a great family get through a really tough time. Can't make it? Well, don't forget there's an online store. Look below for the link or scan the QR code that you see on your screen right now. Now, these are pre-orders, so you can order at any time, but the orders will be sent off to production in batches. You'll be given information on your batch and pickup options when you order. Let's rally together and show the power of community.
All right, and we're back. We're not putting it up here in front of Dave's face. If you've not watched the show for the last month, right?
Yeah.
We have shown everything that's there, and I'll
Gonna be a good deal there.
just give a rundown. So there is a beautiful Yeti cooler,
Roadie 24.
Roadie 24. That's kind of yay big, yay high. That holds 24 cans, whatever you want to put in there. Donated by Lisa Pinkstaff, powered by
You mortgage.
That's exactly right. So our girl Lisa, if you remember, she donated a cooler that our friend Blonde Brush painted up all nice like. This is the exact same cooler, not painted up, but it's that beautiful size, perfect for what you need, donated by Lisa Pinkstaff, powered by You Mortgage, where if you are buying your home, give Lisa a call. Quicker, faster closing time, going to find you a better rate. Just works a little bit differently than a traditional banking process. So that's by Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. We appreciate it. Give her a call today. If you're buying a home and you need a mortgage, give her a call. Now, the contents inside that cooler are also donated by some friends of the program. The first thing we got is a ball cap and a gift certificate, $50 worth, to our friends down there at Bob's Liquor here in Holland, or I guess you can use it in Ferdinand, but we prefer our buddies over here, Josh over here in Holland. It's right in our backyard. $50 gift certificate and nice looking ball cap there. Also inside is what we've donated. So we are donating a set of koozies, 5 of them to be exact. We are donating 5.
5 tickets, 5 koozies,
5 stickers, 6 stickers,
6 stickers because one's for the cooler.
One's for the cooler.
and a big old stack full of T-shirts.
And a big old stack of T-shirts that range in size. If they're too big,
Tough shit. Sleep in them.
sleep in them. So that's from us. And that beautiful little sign over there
We're going to sign it.
that has hung in here since we've started. It's going to be signed by us and rolled up in there. So if you're a fan of the show, you're getting a piece of show history. The next thing in there is a $50 gift certificate donated by our friends over at Merkley & Sons, the ultimate destination for meat enthusiasts. So they've put $50 in the kitty. It's right there. You can load that cooler with bacon, with snap dogs, with Frank's.
Literally whatever
with
you want to.
Yeah,
from
I,
Merkley's.
yeah, really. I mean, I guess I don't have to list off all their great products. You just go over there, you buy whatever you want.
Hey, what about
Man, I wish you'd really just let me.
what about
cook
the
here.
other stuff?
The other stuff, you mean the walking around money
That's
donated
what I
by
was getting
Velpen
at.
Disposal and our
That's right.
buddy Chris Chop Schmidt?
That's right.
Yes. Also within there, our buddy Chops, he called me up and he said, hey, I love what you're doing. I love what you're doing. I want to throw $100 cash from Velpen Disposal in that for a little walking around money for at the game. So you buy those. Obviously, you can spend the $100 however you want. But Chris said, hey, somebody going to the game, I don't want them to have to open a wallet up to get anything. Now, you're going to go drink $100 worth of beer? Knock yourself out. It's a Thursday game. It's the July 18th game. If you're going to take the family, get you some burgers, get you some dogs, get you some nachos, get you some pretzels.
Gonna need that $100.
Get whatever you want at the game. So that's what that cooler is. That's going to be there as an auction item. So I think that covers it, right? That's everything.
I think so.
That's
That
a lot
baby
of
is
shit.
full, and it's going to be a great auction item.
Mm-hmm.
Good cause, though. There's two other things we have to mention yet, because this will be coming out July 10th, which means on July 12th,
2
that
days.
Friday, at Huntingburg Grind, the coffee and tea company there on 4th Street, they are doing a lunch, a Goodwill donation lunch, burgers, dogs, chips, drinks, whatever. But they're hosting lunch. So if you're in Huntingburg or you're in the surrounding area and you say, hey, I'm going to take off a little bit early, I'm going to grab lunch, it's going to a great cause. The second thing, it's been running, and it's already over by the time this airs, but it was the Celebration Ice Honor Box, which I would love, Mark, if you're listening to this, I know you listen to the show, I'd love to know what the Honor Box brought in that week, because that'd be awesome. And it would just be cool to know that, that donation there. But hopefully you did. You went over to the Honor Box. I know I went over there. Dave, you bought ice on the road in Vigo County. But, they appreciate it. Big fella, I don't know.
I bought tons of ice, but I had a lot of shit going on. Didn't make it to the Honor Box, but I bought it from Bob's Liquor in Holland, Indiana. And I bought it from the Blessed Sales and Service at Holland, Indiana.
So we are supporting
Lots
that,
of
but
ice
we
being
appreciate it
bought.
there. That went from the 1st through the 7th. The event is on the 13th. Good news is all the tickets sold out.
Heck yeah.
That is great news. That is for the dine and dance part. But I tell you what, if you call some of their organizers and you're not available to go to the dine and dance, you go ahead and you throw a bid on this cooler.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're going to allow you to do that.
Yep.
Go ahead and call in a
Now,
bid.
there's going to be a minimum.
Oh, yeah. We haven't said it yet.
Yeah, we're not going to give this son of a buck away.
No, we want to raise some money for Courtney
Big time.
and Rusty and family. So that's everything. Courage for Courtney goes to a great cause. We've been more than happy for probably about the last, 6 weeks? More than that, 2 months. We've been talking about it. Glad they've sold out. There's some great auction items there. Those people that did that, I'm glad we've done it. I mean, we're doing our part to help bring attention to it, but that's where we're at. So that's perfect, isn't it?
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. Eat and stuff like that. Dine, and then we're going to maybe do a little dancing.
I'll dance a jig.
Hell yeah.
All right, fellas, it is time for the rapid fire questions brought to you by Merkley and Sons, the ultimate destination. I'm surprised they haven't put this on a shirt yet.
Yeah.
The ultimate destination for meat enthusiasts. This segment is brought to you by Merkley and Sons, the ultimate destination for meat enthusiasts. Have you ever bought a 30-pound box of bacon at one time? Well, I did, and it was quite the experience. Opening up that box of fresh Merkley's bacon, knowing that there was 30 pounds of deliciousness in there, my goodness, what a deal. Be on the lookout next time so you can share in the same experience that I had. All right, fellas, here we go. I've got some boating questions. Now, it's kind of funny because you had smoke on the water that you sold and it's gone, but we've all been on boats before, and we probably all have some desire to own a boat again someday, maybe, right? Would you own a boat again someday?
I'm not going to say that I absolutely wouldn't, but I wouldn't while in this stage of my life. Just
Gotcha.
too much running around. And
What about you, big fella?
I got to get somewhere to live where there's not holes in my ceiling before I get a boat.
There we go. Probably a good thing. Speaking of boats, which type of boat do you enjoy most?
Pontoon. Probably a tri-log with a big-ass engine in the back where you could still pull
So what's the difference between the tri and the dual? Does the tri just float a little better?
Stability. You get more speed out of them. They ride nicer, I guess, from what I've been told.
Get more people on them.
Yeah, higher weight.
rating.
Yeah, there you go.
I think if I was going to do it again, I'm real curious about deck boats.
Oh, God.
Loading a
dang
pontoon
it.
can be a mess at a busy
Yes,
boat ramp.
you're right.
Trying to get it all lined up.
I
so I feel like a deck boat would be the
I
best.
take it
of
back.
both worlds.
I'm going deck boat.
What do you mean by deck boat?
It's a fiberglass hull like a speedboat,
It-
but on top it looks like a
It literally looks like a pontoon, but underneath it's just a regular, like a V-bottom speedboat. You can get them with inboards or big outboards. Hurricane is like an industry leader.
Is that like the center consoles? Oh, that's
Nope.
different. Okay.
Yeah,
No,
it just looks like a pontoon boat on,
Like if
except
you were-
it doesn't have a fence. It has like a molded.
Yeah, like if
fiberglass
you were
edge.
driving by a boat and you thought, "Oh, there's a pontoon," and then you got closer and were like, "Oh, goddamn, no, that's a deck boat." Like you couldn't tell really,
Oh, okay.
from afar away.
I
I'm all in on those two, Dave. Good.
if like I've wanted a center console boat, a big center console boat, because I think that boat,
yeah.
because I think they look really cool. But like in this stage of life, like for the kids probably, and swimming and doing all that stuff, because that center console is like a good cruising boat, good laying around boat, good fishing boat, but not like a lot of room for the kids. But I also would probably like one of those like cabin cruisers. Oh, I got
So
you.
that's a deck. This
Okay.
is like this is called the Hurricane Fun Deck.
Gotcha.
So it looks just like a pontoon, but it's got that. So like David was saying, pontoon boats are a real bitch to load and unload,
Yeah, because they're just rocking like a cork.
and they're not good to trailer either because they're big, boxy, bulky, and shit like that.
Yeah.
A lot of underflow under the trailer and shit. So yeah.
So the center console, but I'd also like
Now, when you say center console, are you saying more of like a
Captain Dave Shank center console fishing boat.
like a contender or something of
big
those?
bastard.
Yeah,
And then
dual engine.
I would
stuff.
like if like for the kids like where we're at now, I probably wouldn't be a pontoon guy, but I'd love to have like one of those like day cabin cruisers where there's a cabin inside.
the old stabbing cabin. Yeah,
Okay. But somewhere for the kids to go.
Yeah,
They could take naps while you're out on the water, or like let's say you decided you were gonna dock for the night somewhere out on an island and you could camp. Yeah, that's what I would love to have there for center console.
We can imagine how many kilos of Colombian
Bam, we could do there.
smuggling that son. Of
Do
a
you
bitch.
prefer boating on lakes, rivers, or an ocean?
Oof. Probably a lake. Rivers are scary because of all the bullshit that floats in them. But I mean, lakes get bullshit too. But like with driftwood and a lot of other, I feel like there's a lot of other like aquatic hazards in rivers, especially like with when you get barge traffic and you get sandbars and stuff like that. Usually with a lake, you got your gosh bless, what am I thinking? Your navionics and all of your GPSs and stuff like that. You get lake cards, and sandbars can change, but not like drastically change like a river can. You know what I mean? So I think as far as that goes, as far as like a safety standpoint, I would probably go for a lake. Now, it would have to be a big effing lake. You know what I mean? Because I think you'd get bored with it, all the time. You know what I mean? Rivers are cool because you could just literally go
anywhere
for however long you wanted to go. Hell, you could go to the ocean if you wanted to.
Yeah.
That's why I think I was going to say rivers. So maybe like Kentucky Lake down there because
Yeah.
it's connected to
Barkley or whatever.
Barkley and a river.
Yeah.
because that's through what there's barge.
Yeah, I
traffic.
got you. Yeah.
I would say probably lakes, but friend of the program, Lee Vogler, is a big river guy. Well, and the Ritters, they're river folk. But ocean makes me nervous because storms kick up. Like Patoka Lake's probably the right size for me.
You got to have a big boat if you're going to go out on the big water.
That's kind of the theory that I would love to do there. Do you have a favorite snack while boating?
Holy cowsers.
Yeah, they're going to be random.
The last couple boat trips we went on with Justine's family, old Granny Dina, she'd rent us a big old 1975 Coke can it's got a shitter in it and a slide.
There you go.
And we just go get a big old bucket of chicken strips and eat them cold all day long.
I'll be.
And then a vast assortment of dips. Big, like actually my brother mom made one the other day that was literally called boat dip.
Ooh.
Got it off of, or no, this was pool dip. Not to be confused with boat dip.
So
But it was.
Yeah.
What's the
it
difference
was.
between pull dip
Couldn't
and
tell you.
Okay.
No idea. But that and then those little pinwheels. You know what I'm talking about? Cream cheese, pickle, ham,
Oh yeah, that's good.
tortilla, cheese.
Now, Ritters have got me spoiled.
Yeah.
So Emily goes through and Jenna does it too for things, but not, I guess, just for boating out. But you take the Hawaiian rolls and you split them in half and make a bunch of little sandwiches and you just put it back in the bag with
yeah.
sliders like
Yeah.
ham and cheese
Yeah.
sliders. And then she makes this cowboy caviar. It's
Yeah. Black beans,
Yeah,
cilantro,
yeah,
corn, the whole works.
So there's always a big tub of that, and then bush lights.
Yeah.
Or
Good-
natty lights.
Good snack.
Yeah.
Ooh, makes me happy.
I can't say that anytime I've been on a boat that there's been a whole lot of food consumed. Or a lot more like beverages.
Sounds like a shitty boat trip.
Well, no, because we're out it's a strictly drinking trip the last few times I've been out on the boat. But, like jerky, our buddy, Cord O'Brien, a little mingy beef jerky out on the water. Stuff that's, you're not too worried about. I guess I just haven't taken a picnic out on a boat in a while.
You want to steer clear of cheese balls. I
Yeah.
feel like those
Yeah.
are trouble. They just
Yeah.
disintegrate in water and then just get orange.
That's very disappointing.
You probably want to stay away from stuff that's going to make you shit.
Well,
Because pooping.
yeah.
Yeah,
pooping
but
when
your
you're-
digestive system, you'd be an interesting case study, big fella.
Yeah, I do shit a lot.
Yeah, and if not, you just go in the water and drop, and then just
Now,
move
I have
on.
That's
done-
why I don't like lakes.
I have done that.
In a lake?
Yes.
So somebody else comes through. That water ain't moving real fast.
Well, it came through really close to me. It floated.
Oh, was it your shit or
Yeah,
something?
no, it was my shit. Like I
Okay.
pooped in the lake,
It floated right up from
and
the
it was like
cheeks
right here by my
on his shoulder,
right here by my shoulder blade. Like get out of here! It was
Some friends of the show have had a similar thing with a poopy baby diaper floating in the Patoka Lake the other day while the kids are out swimming.
oh gross.
Oh, that's terrible. Smoke, obviously, you've named a boat because you had smoke on the water, but what would be a boat name that you would put on one today?
I have. So the SS Mimi 2 is in my driveway as we speak. But yeah, so that was. I mean, that's SS Mimi 1. It went away. It moved on. And then SS Mimi 2 is what it's in my driveway now. But then if I
Can I take a guess?
no, yeah,
That
you
would
can.
actually-
Yeah.
SS Mimi 3?
No, it was what the hell was it? So we talked about this one time because a buddy of ours that I used to work with, he had a boat and he wanted to call it the Vag Mangler, the SS Vag Mangler.
Uh-oh.
But I mean, the stabbing cabin, those are pretty funny. I knew one that there was a guy and girl that they had one. It was called the Wet Spot, like that's its name. But
Your Deanna just had that.
yeah, but I don't know. Tough spot. I don't know what I would name it.
We did a Facebook poll because I was really stuck on a name, and Jenna, she likes Smoke on the Water. But after that one, I'd come up with the Trash Sea Lady, like Trashy Lady.
Trash Sea Lady.
Yeah, because it's a boat.
Nice.
But Jenna wasn't wild about it. So we put it to Facebook vote, and
Smoke on the Water one.
Smoke on the Water won.
Well, that's
I never knew you to
unfortunate.
be the guy to let other people live your life too. What
Uh,
about you, Casey?
I think because it would be funny. Now, the bad thing of it is my wife would be on the boat, but if it was like just my boat, I would name it like OnlyFans Money, and they see this big fat bald guy standing there.
Yeah,
But no, I don't know. Like, since it would be, because like if they saw my wife on it, they'd be like, "Oh wow, yeah, where can we subscribe?" But I would think that I would probably. This is going to be bad, but I would probably name it Monty Dog, because Monty, my old Monty boy, is a good companion of mine, and I'd name it Monty Dog. A couple more here, real quick. Have any of you ever been seasick?
No.
Yes.
I never have, but I've never been out on the high waters.
I usually do the scopamine patches behind my ear.
Last question then. What's your favorite activity to do while boating? Fishing, swimming, cruising?
I like to float, drink beer and float.
Yeah, drink.
Watch the kids play and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
There.
Yeah, I think
All
that's what
right.
it is.
Good
Yeah,
ones.
so there we go. Good questions. Thank you to Merkley and Sons Choice Cut Questions of the Week. For the fellas, remember, they are the ultimate destination for meat enthusiasts. And now we've reached the end of the show. We hope you have enjoyed it. We hope you have a great Wednesday, or whenever you're listening to this, we hope you've enjoyed it. But it's time to take one more, trip around the table, Dave. Kind of find out if we have any concluding thoughts for this. And that's brought to you by Todd Hayes of Hayes Heating, Air, and Repair.
The final trip around the table is brought to you by Hayes Heating, Air, and Repair of Huntingburg. Todd Hayes and the fellows are ready to assist you. Is your house hot and it shouldn't be? Probably need to get that looked at. Is your air conditioner making funny noises? Something else you probably ought to get looked at. Todd and the crew stand ready to assist you in keeping your house cold for you and, of course, the rest of your household. Give Todd a call today at 812-630-5719.
All righty. Big thank to Todd and all the fine fellows over there at Heating and Air.
Hey, he's got a couple young bucks that work in
I
the
think
shop
his
there with him. Todd-
boy and the other fella there. But yeah, if you give them a call for anything you need, I bet they're busier than hell right now.
Yeah.
Hotter than the blue blazes out there. So for my final thoughts tonight is, I had my ceiling fell in a while ago, like today, like less than 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours ago. Like it just fell off into the floor. And I had two choices. I could either stay mad or get over it, And it's like, God dang it. You know what I mean? Like, son of a bitch. Now what? You know what I mean? I got to smell that musty ass attic smell in my room.
You're gonna wake up with a raccoon driving up in your leg.
I'm gonna wake up with a bat bite and
What if the raccoon
stop it.
face?
Face. Oh, good. I got a little
Got-
curvy coon dick right in my old nose hair there.
Hey, you said
Yeah. I'll cut that son of a bitch off and use it for a toothpick, just like the old timer. But
it's like his. We talked about noses for doing the cocaine. You got a nose that an old raccoon
Better be a
would
big-
love to-
No boner to
yeah, better be a big coon, I tell you that, old long dong silvers. But like when shit like that happens, man, I mean, nobody got hurt. Nobody's dead. I still got to sleep somewhere, and everything like that. So there ain't no reason, it was no fault of mine. It was no fault of hers or anybody's. It's part of home.
Oh, if your warden could find out it's your fault, it's going to be your fault.
Well,
Hurry.
obviously. So, it's just a part of home ownership, and you just kind of got to move on and fix it, So keep your stick on the ice and don't sweat the small shit. What you got, Dave?
Been hanging out with in the neighborhood a whole lot this week. I did make a trip to go visit a buddy that I might not get to visit for a while due to schedules. And then I stopped in, visited another buddy I hadn't seen in a while. I hadn't been up to his place in a couple years, but been a good week for catching up. So just you're always too busy to take time to enjoy the company of folks that you don't owe anything to, that you're not responsible for.
Right.
Try to take time and make time when you can, because you don't know, shit happens.
That's right. Good one.
Yeah, it is. First off, we always want to finish with a big thank you to Kyler, K&J Insurance there, new sponsor. Come on, give them a call right over across the road in our backyard there in Petersburg. They offer a lot of services. They are a one-stop shop there. Of course, our buddy Mark Siebert and Celebration Ice with that ice cold opener. Mark, if I do see shirts that have, if it's not Celebration Ice, then F you, like, I expect a cut, kind of like the meat enthusiasts, like there should be a cut come in here. Of course, the Courage for Courtney, everything there going on with that, good vibes for them. And then, of course, Todd Hayes with Hayes Heating, Air, and Repair. Give them a call. They're not a big shop, which means he's probably going to answer the phone when you call.
That's right.
And I think with that being that number there, it probably is Todd's cell phone number. So give him a call. He'll get you in. He'll get you taken care of. But I had a weird thing today, and it was a weird thing because it was something that caught me so off guard, but it just messed with my entire day. And there was a little old lady. We had a closing up at the resort for our workforce housing project up there, and I was walking up to it, walking up to the closing, and this little old lady was getting in the barber chair. And for some reason, it reminded me of a story, or not a story, but a situation, kind of near and dear when Mom was sick and she wanted to get that last trip into the beautician. And I don't know why that old lady made me think of it, but it my day. And I don't know why.
Yeah.
And I came home, and that's all I could think about. It was just that little thing, like, you go in one more time to get the hair done to look nice or whatever it is. And, I hope that little old lady lives a long, long time. Like, I'm not wishing her dead or anything, but it reminded me
She wasn't
of it.
on her way to the funeral.
No, and it just reminded me of it, and it just it took getting back home and seeing the kids that were still excited from the fireworks yesterday, and it was such a weird day, not good to be around, not good company to be around. Kind of didn't really want to do this. Like, I'll just be honest, like I just was in a bad mood.
Yeah.
And, obviously glad I did, and the kids, and it's just finding perspective in things. And, the wild thing about grief is it never goes away. Like that grief process will never end because there's little things every day. But man, surround yourself with stuff that makes you feel good, makes you feel happy, not drugs and alcohol and all that stuff. Like, obviously, don't develop a medical dependency on something like that. But surround yourselves. Really,
we get it, bud. We get it.
Surround yourselves with good people. Good things will happen.
That's right.
Hey, and with that, we hope your Wednesday's been a lot better than ours, because this one's been rough. Dutchman out.